Hi, I'm OJ Davis, and today I'm going to show you how I tie one harness for walleye fishing. Alright, now to start out with, I'm going to show you a couple of examples of worm harnesses. This one right here has a hammered blade, and you have to troll semi-fast to get it to spin correctly. And then the second one is a smiley blade, which you can pinch the blade to make it spin faster, or you can make the blade flat for a little bit slower troll, and it makes this wobble back and forth slowly. And then you have this one right here, which is a shaker blade, which makes this right here go back and forth quite a bit of a big amount of back and forth. Alright, these are some examples of different types of blades. You got smiley blades like this, which sparkle in the light, and then you have hammered silver blades, and then you also have hammered brass, and then you have the smiley blade version of the hammered brass ones, and you have these darker colored ones for the darker water, and then you have these holographic ones right here, which some of them have eyes and some of them don't, and you have ones like this which imitate the side of a fish. And then you have squid skirts, which are big, make it more attractive to the fish. Then you have little pills, which go on the rig. And then you have blades like this, which just spin and attract the fish. And then you got these ones like this that are hammered out to make a different reflection off the light. And then you have these little things right here, which are clevises. And here's one that has already been rigged on to a blade. And then you have some basic hooks. You have some that are covered with plastic, and then you have some that are just a basic hook. And then you have this right here, which is a bottom walker, and you tie the rig off to this clevis right here, and it comes out here this direction, and then you tie your line to here, and then the weight right here, it brings it down to the bottom, and this piece right here ticks across the bottom so you can feel it, and makes it so where your rig is a couple feet off the bottom. And then you have squids like this, which this one glows in the dark for darker time fishing, and then you have these little ones like this that are just different colors. Alright, now I'm going to teach you guys how to tie the hooks on there. You got to tie them on here like these ones right here. You tie the top one on first, then you tie the bottom one on second. Alright, so now I'm going to teach you guys how to tie the hooks on. This one is the top hook. You thread it up to the bottom of the hook right here, and you pull it out. You got to make sure that you leave enough line up top so you can tie the loop in the end. So first you grab it by the shank of the hook right here, like this, and then you start to wrap it around a few times, probably 6 times or so is good, and it's making a loop, and there's a loop in the end from wrapping it around, but you can't see that right now. Alright, now I gotta take this piece of line right here, and I've got to thread it through the loop over here, like this. And then alright, now I've got this first hook tied, which is the top hook, and now I'm going to tie the second hook on. But you repeat the same steps over, but this time this hook's about 1.5 inches away from the top hook. Like so. And you repeat the same exact steps over. So wrap it around about 6-7 times. Alright, now I've got the second hook tied on there. And now you cut the little bit of line that's left over off with a pair of scissors or a knife. Like this. Alright, now next what we're going to do is we're going to tie the rig. Now that I've got the hooks tied on here, we will put the body on. And now I'm going to tie the body to my rig. These are the different types of pills. You have longer and skinnier ones, and you have the smaller ones like this. But this one right here, which is chartreuse and orange spots on it, this is the one I'm going to use for my rig today. Alright, to start out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two fluorescent green beads and I'm going to put them on the line. Then I'm going to take my bullet like this and I'm going to thread it onto the line also. Then once I've got it threaded on the line, I have a couple white beads, which I don't know if you can see them or not, and I'm going to put them on above it. And then after that, I'm going to take my chartreuse smiley blade and I'm going to put it on the line. And then now you've got to tie the final knot on the top of it, which you take the two pieces of line like this and you fold it around to the back side of that, and then you take the tip of the loop and put it through the circle like this, and then you've got the loop knot on there, and then the finished product looks like this. Now I'm going to show you guys how to rig it up. Alright, now you take some fishing line. We normally use Maxim Ultra Green line, but this is 4-pound test. You normally use 10 to 12. And you take about 2 to 3 foot, depending on who you are. Then you take your scissors and you cut the line. And then you take your line and you put it through the loop and you tie a normal fishing knot, which I'm pretty sure most of you know how to tie. But for those of you who don't, you take it and you pinch the bottom piece of it and you wrap it around several times, about 8 to 9 times. And then you thread it through. There's an itty bitty loop above the loop that you had tied on it that you got to get the line through. And once you get your line through there, you got that little piece and you pull it tight. And we normally get it wet with our spit or some water to make sure it's tight on there. And then you cut the excess line with this pair of scissors. And then what you got to do is you take this end piece right here of the line and you take this clevis right here and you tie it on there with the same knot, with just another regular fishing knot, like this. You take your fishing line after you tied the knot on to your rig and you put it through the clevis up here and you tie it with just another regular fishing knot like you did the last time. And you also got to put it back through the hole again like you did in the last knot. And then you clip the excess piece of line with a pair of scissors. Alright, this is what the finished product looks like. Here's the rig I tied, and then here's the line, and then here's the bottom locker. The bottom locker, the metal piece that's hanging down from the weight, ticks along on the bottom to make sure your stuff stays off the bottom. And you got this little piece right here, at which your main line is tied to, which goes up to your pole. Alright, now to complete it, you hook the worm up. You hook the nose up to the tip of this hook right here. And then you hook the middle of the body up to this piece, up to this hook right here. And then when it's down in the water, it looks like this. This is what the blade looks like when it spins around. And that's what attracts the fish. And I hope you guys enjoyed how I showed you guys how to tie this rig.